Hi guys, today we're on a Lough Erne cruise and we're going to a very special island on Lough Erne, and that is of course Lusty Beg. That's all coming up. So if this is your first time visiting the channel guys, my name's Harry.
And I'm Marion.
This is our boat Driftwood, and what this channel is all about is letting you experience the Irish waterways, showing you a few places that are good to visit and maybe giving you a few ideas as well. In this episode we're going to head to Lusty Beg Island. It's a restaurant island.
And we're going to Lusty More, is it?
We are.
And then we're hoping to go to Castle
Caldwell, is
Caldwell,
it?
yeah.
Castle Caldwell,
is
yeah.
supposed to be Natural Trust Forest Park. So
Yeah.
hopefully that should be interesting.
We have our walking shoes on for that because
Yeah.
there's supposed to be good walks there, isn't there?
Oh yes, fabulous walks, yeah.
But this is actually, I think this is our third time trying to get to Lusty Beg.
Yeah,
It is.
every time we went to go out, the wind was up, and you know me.
Mara does not like waves. But the forecast today is absolutely excellent. There is no wind. There was often more wind in my stomach. So we will have no problem getting to Lusty Beg.
As you can see,
day.
it is a beautiful, beautiful morning.
Yeah,
it really is.
It is. So as you know, we've been trying to get up to Lusty Beg, and up until now we've had problems. Come on with me and I'll show you what they are. Right, so this is Lough Erne, and we are trying to get to Lusty Beg. That's this spot here, but we're actually over here in a spot called Lough Erne. Now this is the north, south, east and west. Predominantly the wind comes from this side here. So as you can imagine, up along here is where the waves are at their worst. And every time we come out through these islands here to make our way across this exposed water to Lusty Beg, it's been kind of too choppy. Marion's been a little bit peeved about the waves. But today the forecast is good. I've been onto the website. It's sort of force 2. That's grand. It's coming from the south here, so we should have no bother, and we're hoping that this time we're going to get to Lusty Beg. So we're just heading out of Lough Erne now guys, and this is where we are. We're just here on the northern side of Fermanagh Lakelands, and this is what it looks like. Now if that's not the calmest, most perfect day for crossing a lake, I don't know what is. Absolutely beautiful. There's a lovely sailing yacht up there. There's a cruiser up in front of us as well. There's a little bit of cloud on the mountain just on the left hand side, but there's no wind. This is absolutely perfect weather for going out on the lake. So guys, there we are, an absolutely perfect day to be out on Lough Erne. Not so perfect for that guy in the yacht because he actually doesn't have any wind, I don't think, to sail by. So looking out across there, there's the cliffs of Magoo. There's a little bit of cloud just on the tops of those cliffs, but look at that, absolutely peaceful. That the flags are not blown at all. And another sign of good weather is that Mara's smiling. She's happy, she's on a lake and there's no wind, so that's good.
It is fabulous now, it really truly is fabulous.
So it's glassy calm, it really is beautiful. So we're going to head over here and we're going to check out Lusty Beg, and there's a restaurant there and we might have a little bit of a meal.
Hopefully go for lunch.
So we're most of the way across the lake now, and this is one of the most exposed parts of Lough Erne, because normally you would have a predominantly westerly wind here, and those waves would come all the way across from Beleek and they'd hit you here and you'd know about them. But today it's just glassy calm, absolutely beautiful.
It is now, I have to say, it's fabulous. Somebody out there, is that a jet ski?
I think there's a guy out on a little lake boat.
Fishing. The scenery is just out of this world.
So we're just coming in here to the moorings at Lusty More, and on the chart it says to be careful that it's a bit shallow, especially if you're going to moor in the inside the jetty. So we're going to try and hopefully we'll moor up on the outside of the jetty and have no issues. So just over on the right hand side, if I just pan around there a wee bit, that's Lusty Beg. You cannot really see it, but you might be able to make out the chalets in amongst the trees there. We'll have a look at that in a few moments. So this is just the final approach here into Lusty Beg. You really could not ask for better weather. It's absolutely glassy calm. I've often gone down canals and it's been choppier than this. This is just beautiful. Never been here to Lusty More before, no idea what to expect. But we'll moor up and we'll have a walk around and see what there is to see. So we're just coming in here into Lusty More, and it is really shallow. We just passed over a spot there and you can see loads and loads of weed, so we got a bit of a fright, but we didn't touch bottom or anything like that, so it was probably just us panicking a wee bit. There's one or two other boats here. Now I've got to get ready to do the ropes. So we just pulled up on, is it Lusty Beg or Lusty More?
Lusty More.
Lusty More. I keep getting mixed up between the two of them.
We're going to Lusty Beg for lunch.
Yeah, and this is just kind of a neighbouring island. You may remember from another blog where we were looking at the stone figures up on Bow Island. We showed you one of the stone figures, and that stone figure had originally been found on this island, which is Lusty
More.
So here we are, we have the whole island to ourselves. There's only myself, Mar, a few ducks, some geese, some swans, and oh, look at this.
Wow.
This is a lovely little picnic area. There's a spot there for a pit fire, and there's even a little bit of information about Lusty More Island, which I would be glad to read to you if I had brought my glasses with me. So we've just got moored up here now in the lovely bay that holds the harbour at Lusty Beg. We haven't had a chance to have a look around yet, but if I just pan the camera around the harbour here, it's a lovely sight. Our first indications, well, as we were coming in the boat, we could see a couple of ladies and they were very well dressed, far too well dressed to be going water skiing, so we reckon that there's probably a wedding here today. Go and explore Lusty Beg. Lusty Beg Island private jetty for exclusive use by bar and restaurant patrons. I think we'll be patrons of both.
Look at the bimini, I suppose you'd call it. I'd say it must be fabulous here at night time.
Best use I've ever seen a horse box been put to. So guys, when we first stepped onto Lusty Beg Island, we were quite taken back with the amount of cars there are on the island, and this is the reason why. This is the Lusty Beg ferry. It carries people as well as cars. And on the charts, it calls it a chain ferry because it's pulled on two cables. If you're pedantic about it, it's a cable ferry, I suppose. But that is something to bear in mind when you're coming down here in a boat. But you've got to remember that there are two cables trailed across the channel here. And as that ferry goes by, those cables are lifted up off the bottom. So you need to give it quite a wide berth. And here's another group arriving, either for a hen's party or maybe for the wedding.
Having a lovely lunch there, wasn't it? Really nice.
Yep.
Seafood chowder.
We did. We had a look on TripAdvisor first, and there was kind of mixed reports, but we came in here for lunch. I have to say we got a grand lunch, no complaints with it.
Oh,
I had a lovely chowder, you had a chowder,
yeah.
and we got nice sandwiches, and yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, recommend it? Yeah.
Yeah. it's interesting. It's something a little bit different.
There's a wedding on here as well now,
Yeah.
but we won't be able to hang around to see.
No. But we want to get off because there's another place we're going to take you to right about now. That ferry is being pulled across the river on 2 cables that are lying on the bottom of the river. But as the ferry goes by, those cables are lifted up. So left and right of that ferry just at the moment, there's cables just beneath the surface. Give it a wide berth. So this is probably the calmest day we've ever had on Lough Erne. Indeed, I think on almost any lake. So we're just west of Lusty Beg. A lovely, lovely, lovely sight. Wow. So these are the cliffs of Magoo, and we are right out in the centre of what they call the Broad Loch, and we're heading towards Castle Caldwell. So I'll show you on paper where we are. Okay, so we have come out of here, out of Lusty Beg. We've gone up and down through the cut here past the chain ferry, and we're heading across the joint in the page, and we're heading over here into Castle Caldwell. So we're around about this spot here at the moment. Kind of extra careful here because there's a navigation notice on the charts that warns about treacherous rocks. So it sounds a little bit melodramatic to me, but there you go, there's a bit of treachery on Lough Erne. So this is just the final approach into Castle Caldwell. It certainly looks like a peaceful, quiet spot. First of all, we're the only boat here. But yeah, it's very picturesque. Look at the reflections in the water, just magnificent. Isn't that just super? Look at those, that's magnificent reflections, I think. And there's the boss. Oh, look, all nervous. No bother to you. Now, so Mara's going to moor up here. Just wait to do the ropes. So let's see now, can I do the ropes with one hand? Hold the camera with the other hand. I have to say, she's doing pretty good. Look at that.
Didn't hit anybody.
Nobody has been killed.
Nobody's been killed.
No one's seriously injured. The boat is probably still fit for purpose. So that classes as a good mooring. So Castle Caldwell was built between 1612 and 1619. This was during a period in time called the Ulster Plantation. It was built in classic planter style. It's a bawn with 2 semicircular projecting Falkirk towers and within it a stronghouse. At this time, the castle was probably known as Hassett Fort. There's a number of different walks around the parkland here. You cannot actually go and visit the castle because of its ruinous state, but there are wonderful views over the lake. Yeah, so we were so keen to do our walk, we forgot to take off our life jackets. And
It's easier to leave them on when you're going for a walk.
I think so, yeah. So we're nearly back at the boat now.
There's some steps.
Yeah, it's not exactly, you wouldn't say it was flat ground walk, would you?
No.
It was
a grand walk. I mean, there was tarmac was a good bit of the way. 90%.
most of it had a surface of some sort anyway, hadn't it? Yeah. And we're back at the boat now. Look at all those steps behind us. We feel every single one of them steps, I'm telling you. The old joints are getting sore these days. between knees and hips and ankles, with pains in places that I didn't even know that I had. I'm a croc. So there's our pair of swans on the Cygnet. They're over begging food. And I hate to tell you, but they're begging off the wrong people. So it's trying to head back out onto the lake.
And it's still lovely and calm, so.
Yeah, well, it is in here. I'm sure it'll be just as calm when we get out on the lake. So guys, we're just back out onto the lake, and look at that, it is eerily calm. Look, it's absolutely glassy. You can't rely on it to be like this. This is exceptional. There's a small bit of a mist, but it's not really a problem. Isn't that a lovely sight? What a beautiful coastline that is. Right guys, here's my question of the day for you. I want to know, is Lusty Beg the sort of island you'd like to go and visit? Maybe you prefer the quiet islands or whatever. Please connect with us and let us know in the description below.
And if you like the channel, give us a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, most important. And if you do like the content, guys, does YouTube have put up a link there to other videos that we've done? Click on one of them, have a look. But please do give us that thumbs up.
Yeah.
It all helps the channel, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys, and we see you in the next episode.
Cheerio.